Okay. All right, good morning. Welcome to Thursday morning market open live stream. We're gonna go through some setups. We're gonna look at some watch list trades and see if we can make some a little bit extra today, a little bit extra income for the day. So I'm gonna go through some a SPY trade setup going into market open. I know that I'm here a little bit late. We've got 5 minutes. We have to get through it and get going. So I got the chart right now on the screen at SPY. And then we're going to go see how the watch list trades play out after that. SPY is already at a pre-market, like coming back from a pre-market high, and that is 685, 69-ish, 70-ish, right? Good morning. Let me just go through the chat. Yeah, I don't want to. Good morning, TNT. Good morning, June. Good morning, Paul C. Hope you guys ready for the day. We did have some data that we can go through as well. Once market open, we can review some of that data and see what numbers were released today. So I'm just going to put a few levels on the chart. We are at these highs of pre-market, so I do want to pull back. If we're going to continue up higher, which we are in a bullish sentiment still right now, it's just buy the dips at this point, and it takes it to higher levels, right? So I'm just going to look for a smart entry. I'm going to put this black, actually. Let's do that. Actually, share my screen, sorry, in the Discord. Bam, there you go. Thank you. Just remembered that as I was looking through the chart. So I'm going to put this black line here. This is as a support level. This was a resistance yesterday. I'm going to put it as a support level for a pullback entry into market open. Also, if we lose that level, then we can, could play it down to this level, all the way down here, back to the bottom of that channel that it was sitting at pre-market, right? So we have a little bit of room there to play it down, about $1 down to the bottom of that channel. So make sure, yeah, volume's on also on social media. Just want to make sure these things are working. So our plan is for upside. Even a pullback is perfect for me. I'd be looking for this pullback here and then going from there, taking off to a higher high for the day and making a new high, right? So I'd be looking for a pullback and then ripping off the pullback support level, then trading into that reversal, not just waiting for the retest and, oh, let me buy right on the retest. No, that's where some people fail. They just think it's going to hold. That's not going to be the case every single time. We may just fall through that support and then start looking lower levels for support to hold. So we can take advantage of that downside if we lose support, right? So I just don't want to just jump right in on the first retouch of that black line and just buy calls. I'm not going to do that. I want to see some buying action off that level, take off again, and then I'll buy some calls to go to the new higher day. That's what I'd be doing. So that will be what I'd be looking at right here, this level here off of this black line. Now, if we lose that level, I'm not saying we go bearish for the day. What I'm saying is that we could take advantage of maybe this pullback to this line and then maybe a reversal off this bottom channel, of the bottom level of the channel. And that is about 683.80. NVIDIA looks always ready to rip too. So that is always fun to trade as well. Let me just read some of these chats, make sure. Look at. Oh, hello there. Let me just make sure everything's going all right. You got the screen share, okay, right? In the Discord, just want to make sure that you guys see that all right. Yes, sí, señor. There we go. So That is what I'm going to look at. So we're going to look for a retest and a push off this level to a new high. And at that point, I'd be looking to play, you know, if we hold that retest and we start pushing higher, I'd just be looking for maybe 686 or 687 calls. And I don't go zero DTE. Some people do. That's totally fine. Nothing wrong with that. Just got to manage your risk. Make sure you're in the game. You got your maybe hotkeys, or you're ready to press the buttons when you're in some good profits. But what I'm going to pick here is December 5th, tomorrow's expiration. So if we get that positive reaction, I'd be looking to take these to the upside. Downside, if we lose this top level and we're trading this down to the bottom of the channel, then I'd be looking to take 683. I'm going to say 683 puts for 1205. It may be a quick day trade, but nevertheless, we may get some nice momentum there, a nice return on our investment just on this dollar move. That's likely to give us, 10, 20, 30% return just on this little move here. If we lose that, then we have some momentum to maybe go a bit lower to 682 than we have down here off of yesterday's areas, right? This is yesterday's price action. And I would just keep those lines there as guidance for more downside targets if we move down there. If we don't, we just ignore them. Market's open. The noise is loud. So that's what I'm going to look for here. Just going to pay attention to this level here and see what kind of reaction we get. If we don't get a reaction and we start falling, that 683 put for tomorrow looks juicy to take. And, these strategies we go over in our coaching. If anyone can pop the little coaching link there, we do coaching weekly, swing trading, day trading. You can use that strategy that you learn for option trading, for long-term investing, for day trading. You can it can be used in so many different scenarios. That's why it's effective and a good strategy to learn. So come join me in coaching. Starts today at 11 a.m. every Thursday, 11 a.m. live in the Discord. All right. I picked up a little bit of PayPal this morning. I just wanted to pick up a few shares of PayPal down here in the 60 to $61 level on that pullback yesterday. Grabbed a few shares of that as well, seeing if I can take advantage of this little dip that we got from 63 to 61, $60 yesterday. So far it's building up a little bit. So yeah, so SPY. Now, if we got that retest, you can see the wick down here. It's not perfect, but we still nevertheless got the retest. I'm just going to see if we get a full kind of little flush down there and see what it does there first. But I am on the 5 minute. Let me go down to the 3. There we go. Better. Let me draw out these lines a little bit better too. So we lose this level, we trade down to this level. We lose that level, we continue down to this level. Just continuation, baby. That's what we're going to be doing. And that's the contract I will take for SPY. This was the contract I take for SPY to the upside if we decide to react positively off that level right now. And I'm going to look at the top gainers while we're here. Let's see what's going on. Top gainers. There is one stock that got got some publicity today on social media. That is QCLS. I put it on the watch list as well. It's volatile as hell. They've got a lot of volume there, and if you can deal with that volatility of volume up and down with these candlesticks, then there's some money to be made there. The news came out for this one. This is QCLS. Suppose it's a big time trader, right? An institutional trader. Took a big position in this company, leveraging Microsoft's optical computing roadmap for bull case for this stock. And they're looking for their near term target is $100. I don't know if it's a bunch of fluff, but the stock is moving on that news of this Martin Shkreli takes position in this company, leveraging this computing roadmap for a bull case, and his target is $100 near term. So we're up 21% only today for this QCLS, but it is moving off of VWAP and holding VWAP. The high of day is 603, so it is holding up pretty well right now. Here you go, SPY with the flush down. That's nice. A little flush down there. So that's a big flush. Anyone trading the flush here? This is big and hard to get. Actually, it's very hard to take advantage of that big candle there, unless you're on maybe the 2-minute candles time frame, or maybe the 1 minute. But you know, a lot can change on the 1 minute time frame, right? So that is one big candle all the way to the bottom of that channel. So what we could have done is took my ribbon right there that I have on the screen, which is the SMA 20 ribbon that I teach in coaching, and waited for that bearish little signal at the top of that candle to potentially take a trade. I couldn't get into it at this moment, but did anyone take that flush down there? That's a big one. Look at the sell side volume there. This is what is speaking to us right now. We're not going to go upside when we got a lot of selling like that coming in to the chart, right? So when we got that much selling coming in, we're not going to see it go to a new high of day. We're going to see a follow through on the price action here to the downside. Do you want to see what? Okay, but no, stocks are still acting pretty good. There's no big flushes anywhere else that I see. Let me see. Nvidia still green, 1%. Tesla still green, 0.5%. The only one that's green right now is SPY. Qs are down, negative. We got small caps down. IWM is down, and Dow is green as well. So we got SPY and Dow green, the other two red at this point. So we got that big flush down. Now this is where I'm going to look to take a position. Now we either bounce back up and maybe retest this black line and start rolling off again, which is going to give us an entry. And we're not going to have to chase something like that big red candle that we saw just now. We're going to actually get a reasonable entry on the rebound and the rejection of this line if we get it. If we get a rollover and this candle starts to turn red, then that is also a potential entry, because I like to see a bit more than just one candle being red. I want to see 2 or 3 candles in a row start rolling over red. And then that gives me more confirmation that, more confidence we're going to see more downside. Meta and Google flushing right now. Okay. Let me just double check what market news came out today. Let's see. So initial jobless claims came in at 191K versus 220K. So much lower initial jobless claims than expected. Continuous claims are a little bit down than they estimated too. So not bad numbers, if you ask me. Job market isn't as weak as people maybe expected. So that is the numbers I put in the chat. So this is it. Like this one starts to roll over, and then the next candle rolls over. That is a great confidence that we're going to see more downside here. So we just got they try to buy it back up here, and then we saw rejection. Now this one's rolling over, so this is good. I think more downside to come if this one could close red, and the next one we roll over. We're going to start maybe seeing lower the numbers down to 682 maybe. See what this one ends up closing. We got about 2 seconds for this candle to close. 3-minute candle. It's closed green, not red in the end. A lot can happen, and it did. It ended up going from really red to green, closing green. So that's not what I want to see, right? I want to see 2 candles here. Start to sell off and close, and then I can see more downside happening. And if you guys have any tickets you want me to look at in the Discord, let me know as well. We will do our best to get through as many setups as we can. Right now, I just focus on SPY after market open. We've only been open 10 minutes, so I'm not going to try to jump from ticker to ticker if I can help it. I'm just trying to focus on one and try to execute one trade based on the strategy. SPY trying to gain some momentum. There we go. I think all you need is one trade to make your day a success. I'm just going to watch this candle, see what reaction we get off this top line here. And I'm just going to be very patient. Got 1:20 left on that candle. So if we close above that black line, I think momentum to the upside, it shifts to the upside, and we probably start seeing these new highs come in place. But if we reject off this line and we close below, then I'm going to look to take downside reversal. I'm just going to be very patient. I got plenty of time to get a trade in here. Took 3 trades for you to get your 1%. How did you feel about taking those trades? Were they quick trades? Do you feel confident about them? Were they the same strategy, just one strategy on all 3 of them that you traded? Yeah, Nvidia is nice and green. Tesla's making some highs here as well. Nvidia is trying to go more green. Just SPY is a little bit lacking off this candle. We got that touch, and we just start to roll over a little bit again. Let's look at the 5-minute. 5-minute doesn't look good. So still bearish, still under the SMA 20 ribbon. It's still showing this bearish signal right here based on my indicator, and it hasn't gone green yet. So it's still a negative sentiment right now in this 3-minute time frame. All right. So very next, see that's what I like to see. Just start seeing those wicks to the top of the candles and the body closing down here. That's a good sign for downside move. We got a lot of sellers coming into the mix, trying to take over they're trying to take it over right now, and then they're going to try to drop it below that channel, bottom of that channel. If we lose this bottom of the channel, I think we're in for some more downside, and we can zoom out a little bit. And look, I'm going to put a few other lines here. This line here. And I'm going to put this line here. These are going to be targets along the way if we lose that bottom of the channel. So we never got that, right? So I'm going to take this line away because we retested and fell right through. So that's invalid. So I'm just going to watch this move now. And the move for the bulls would be for a safe entry, in my opinion, would be get back above here and then starting to move off of there. That would be my cue to take these. Right now it's just bearish, so downside move for now. So this volume was red, this volume was red, this volume's red, this volume's red. Out of the last, we got these volume sticks down the bottom here. We got just one that came in green so far. Still very weak. I wonder if I could change this to green. Yeah, green. There we go. So we got red, 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 green, green, green. One green. So more sell side. And QCLS new high of day. If anyone's trading out of the watch list, that is now making new highs. I'm just going to get momentum based off that trade. If we go to QCLS real quick, because of that news that came out, we got big momentum on its side right now. A lot of buying volume, right? So a lot of buying volume coming into the mix here. We're going to a new high of 626. Our entry for the watch list, I think it was like 565. So you're up very good on that trade now. Just it's all about protection, making sure that you don't go red on this trade and that you leave with some kind of profit. If you want to be more risk on, maybe you put your stop loss a little bit lower into the profit. But if you want to protect this, what is that, like 10% right now, then want to stick that stop loss in a little higher, so when it does roll over, you exit with some good decent profits there. But we're on the way up at the moment. And if we zoom out to maybe the weekly on this one, that's a lot of volume. We haven't seen this kind of volume. If we go on the daily, we haven't seen this kind of volume for a long time. There was a lot of sell side volume right here, but buy side volume, we haven't seen this. Like, look at this chart. It's so ugly. It's been reverse split like 20,000 times. But if this is the moment where the momentum comes in because of this kind of news of institutional buying or an activist, I'm not quite sure what that guy is. I'd have to check into him, to be honest. But if we build momentum and he's saying $100 price target, then I'm sure there's going to be some pushes on this stock much higher than the levels that it's at right now, based on that kind of fluff or news or whatever you want to call it, excitement coming out of this name. I think what is this company anyways? Let me just make sure I know what it's about. Oh, it's pharmaceutical though. Oh, looks like they do CBD. Clinical trials. So it's a biotech company, which comes with a lot of volatility. And if they don't have any good trials, or they don't have significant stuff coming out, products or treatment, then this will likely just fizzle out if nothing good comes out of it soon. So we'll see how this one goes, but it is at a new high of day. So all about protecting your profits at this point. If momentum decides to roll over a little bit, then just protecting that profit is the key thing. It's easy to take profits along the way up. It's just, protecting your downside. If it rolls down, don't panic, have a plan for it. I'm gonna roll it back over to SPY, see where it's going. So it rolled off that channel. So you see this? So the lower part of this channel that we are just talking about is lost. So we lost this channel. Now the downside puts are printing now at this point where we were looking for an entry up here. If you're in puts, all you're looking for now is continuation, and then that protection if we decide to maybe get back into this channel, where to exit with that profit that you're in. So, you know, I'm not physically in this trade. I'm just guiding you guys, guiding everyone through it and kind of show you what I look for in the morning trades and planning around SPY and making sure that SPY doesn't take advantage of me and I take advantage of the SPY. Yeah, okay. You can just, let me see, is it worth getting into once it past purchase, but like right now at 627. I would consider it, to be honest, chasing something when it's up to high of day. What you can do is, you know, you can look at other levels lower, like little support levels lower, that it can potentially like a healthy pullback. And you can look to take entries once we react positively off those areas. You know, we can put maybe here. As you can see, it touched that a few times, rejected a few times, then finally got through it. Maybe we get a retest off that, and you can look for a pullback there, retest and push off that level first. And then once it pushes off that level, maybe that is an entry point for you instead of chasing up here at the highs of day, right? Because you're risking a lot up there. The risk is substantially higher up here than where we got into on our watch list, because we're just sitting in profits at this point, picking our levels to get out if we stop out or to continue up high to maximize those profits. So if you're just looking to get into it, I look for just pullbacks at this point. And that level that we're looking for a breakout on my watch list is that kind of level that black line's at now, about 567. So if we retrace that much down and we react positively, we see this is red now, right? So we want to see green come back into the mix and start trending back up. Then this will react nicely off of there and we can take a trade. But if you miss the trade, don't worry about it. There's more out there to pick from that maybe have a better setup. This may have just run its course. You just go find the next one that you're not chasing and you understand the setup and it's at the beginning of that run, then you can take that trade. But I've learned a lot from chasing. You know, I'm not going to chase the tops. At this point, I look to take maybe the rejection off the tops and play downside moves off double tops, triple tops, whatever it may be. Just going to be a little bit smarter about it. But I've been there before where just chasing stocks and it hasn't worked. Yeah, well, you know me, I'm more of a swing trader. I just like to find the reversals off the bottoms of really good companies. So if you want to find out a little bit about me, that's what I do. I do the fundamental research behind the stocks. I find out if they're garbage or they're real, legit, growing companies. And then I look for the ones that are close to the bottom and they start reversing off levels, really good weekly levels or daily levels. And I snap them up and we take it higher from there and we make some money. So I do that research before I jump into a stock. I don't just jump in based on technical analysis. I'm jumping in based on the fundamental analysis and what they're doing, what the company does. Is it somewhere that I can see more growth over the next 5-10 years? And then we trade those off the bottom levels. Like MDB was a very good example. No one wanted to buy that under $200. We were snapping it up in our swing coaching channel, you know, 200, 180, and we averaged down to, I think, 170 as it was in the end. And look where that stock is now. It's at $400+ after the recent earnings. So people just lose, you know, confidence, or they just lose, you know, that edge, you know, and finding an edge and doing the research will make you understand, are they undervalued? Are they overvalued? Is there growth slowing down? Certain things like that, margin levels, those all play a big key in what we buy and how we trade them. So that's what I do mostly. This for me is just a fun little job in the morning, a fun little extra, do some day trade and play a couple of contracts, have a little fun, make some money. Then I move on to the bigger stuff, swing trade, long term. And that's where I focus. And that's where the money's made for me, at least. This is a lot of fun, but it's not, for me, not sustainable every day to be focused on day trading SPY, day trading options. I just focus on swing trading options, long-term trading, and see that income over years or months, whatever it is. Short-term swings can be weeks and months. Long-term can be months and years. So that's what I do mostly. Let me go to SPY. So we're still going lower here. There's no signs. We may get some green candles along the way down. That's no reversal. That's just little bumps in the road. But the momentum is still downside. And if we look at the volume's gonna be, you gotta look at the volume when you trade. You can't just blindly not look at volume. You're gonna see price action follow it. We got more sell side here. And this is a stronger candle. I like this one. This one's a bit better. But we got buy side there. And right now we're working on this one being more buying, right? So we've mixed bag, but mostly selling. Along the way, we get little bumps in the road, little pushes, but then we get met with the next candle of sell-off. So we see if this one can close higher than the previous candle and then start making those higher lows, higher highs for a potential trade to the upside. And that's just key little confirmation signals you look for. You don't just buy the one green candle hoping it's the reversal. Quantum's internet stack, goddamn. Well, don't get me started on quantum. There's a lot of garbage out there, so make sure you're picking the right ones when you're invested in quantum. RGTI, they even admit they're selling. Insiders are selling huge amounts of shares. Like if they're so confident in their company, why are they selling all their shares? That's a red flag for me. So there's a lot of insider selling in some of those quantums. I just stick to shorting those, or I just play puts on them. Play downside. I like this green candle, but it's still not good enough. It's still not good enough. And look at that. It's starting to sell off a little bit. Let me get rid of all this stuff down here. That was just an example of the volume. So that candle went all the way up here and we feel, oh yeah, it's so green. And then look where it closed, all the way below this black line again. So it didn't really go far in the end. It didn't engulf this previous one, that's for sure. Oh yeah, you can even go on the 30-minute candle. Look at that candle. Like that, does that tell anyone it's bullish for the day? That 30-minute candle? Look at the 15-minute or the 10-minute. Everything's bearish right now. 10-minute, bearish. 5-minute, bearish. 3-minute, even bearish. 2-minute, bearish. Look at that rejection of that line. And we're now testing the lows of day. 1 minute. Everything is going under, even on the 1 minute, under the SMA ribbon. It's such a great tool to use, the ribbon, for the signals based on the strategy. You'd understand, looking at that, you'd understand before jumping into something if it makes sense. So everything's under the ribbon, even on the 1 minute, under the ribbon. So everything's stacked bearish on SPY. Let's go to a 3-minute. Let's go to a 3-minute. 3-minute time frame, please. So puts are the way to be. I mean, it's down pretty much to in the money on those 683 puts on that breakdown from that top level that we were looking for. And let me go to Tesla real quick. Our Tesla's rolling over to yeah, but I don't trade Tesla so much. Let me keep going to SPY. So a new low day just was formed on SPY. Anyone trade SPY puts on that move? Do you understand that move, how it played out? Maybe next time you would take the trade based on what we just went through. So I don't really need to pay attention to this because we already hit our targets, right? So at this point, anything lower is bonus. So we already got ourselves, what was that, a nearly $2 move down. So you got some really good profits on that trade. You know, you can squeeze more out of it if we close under this line of 680, 683. If we can close and we start to see some red candles form again under that level, then these are just bonus levels to aim for. 682.30, 681.30 would be next if we cannot hold this level here and we roll over again. And those are just continuation bonus targets, and you just keep raising your stop up. And once you get stopped out, you're in some good profit. That's fantastic. I'm still up 45%. All right. Good stuff. I knew someone was in it, and of course it's Mr. OG killing it. Kala, yeah. So KALA is one that's got high volume as well. And it's at a high of day 172. Sorry, I didn't go through some of these watch list trades yet. So KALA was on the watch list above 135. If you followed the watch list channel or you follow me on X, it's up to 172 high of day. So you can see. And normally when I'm looking at these daily, like this equity setup day trades, I'm putting on the VWAP here. This is the rolling VWAP, but you can put regular VWAP on like if you have Webull. I use a rolling on TradingView, and then you can see how bullish it got once we got above VWAP and above the S&P 20 right here, that it was building momentum. Look at the volume that flooded in, and we saw the price action move up really nicely to 172 so far. And you can see just previously a couple of days ago where we just got before we rolled off. So be very careful here unless we can get through this level. If we can get through that wick high, then I think we can see, you know, back up to the twos and maybe 220, 215-ish next. But we need to see with KALA, we need to get through that high again. And then from there, we can go higher. But we could potentially see a double top and then we roll back over here just like we did here. So you have to be very careful. Just think about every scenario. when you're trading it, these momentum trades. So that, yeah, so SPY, you just go into like OG's up 45%, you said. So you can go based off of the chart if we break a resistance or we start to see more, you know, more green candles in a row, because right now we only got one green candle here, followed by 3 red candles, 1 green candle, followed by a big engulfing red, 1 green candle, followed by red. If we get like maybe 2 or 3 green in a row, then maybe that's a cue to say, oh, well, I'll take my profit. I don't want to lose anymore if we're building momentum here. You know, so maybe there's something there, or if we break above a resistance, you can take your profit and leave the trade, or you can go by percentage, whatever your plan is. Just have a plan for stopping out, even in profit, or stopping out for the loss. I think if it closes above 683.21, I'm out. Okay, well, it's getting close to it. On the 3-minute candle, we got 30 seconds left. If I got 45% for the day, I'd be done for the day after this trade. If I didn't need to be here all day long, you know, helping others, and I was just a regular trader, then I would be happy with that profit, and I'd be leaving trading for the day and just getting on with my life. Come back tomorrow. So yeah, SPY still not out of the woods yet, still in that bearish sentiment. You're out? Okay. Good stuff. You followed through with that plan. Oh, let me see something. To have a look at my account real quick. Snap is holding up pretty well here. I can go into the swing trading in a second too, because time goes by fast when we're having fun, right? So let me just look at over here at PLRZ. This one had some news, I believe. They had some positive news that came out. Results for one of their trials. I'm not going to try to read that medical nonsense, all these words and terminology, but we did get a big move for this one from yesterday, right? So after that news was released, after hours, we went from 7 to 21, pulling back a little bit now, but I do want to see if there's a setup available. Just we're going to base it strictly on the SMA 20. We're not even going to bring VWAP into this, and see if we can get a trade here. So my trade is going to be for this one. This is PLRZ. we're pulling back some, so it's negative right now. So I'm just looking to play reversals. So I'd be looking for, I'm just going to look for this reaction off of here. So come down here. I'm going to actually do it in a better line. Let's do it in a, so that is the low. And then I'm going to look for I'm going to look for a reaction off that and then take a trade once we get positive reaction off this level here. I'm actually going to raise it up to there. So if we pull down lower on this PLRZ, I'm going to look for a $14.10 retest. And if we get some very good positive reaction off there, put 14.10 to 14.15 or that area, give or take. If we get a nice reaction off this area, we start to see some buying like this come into the mix, seeing some hammer candle, reversal hammer candles, engulfing candles. Then I'm going to look to take a trade off there, trade it back towards that $15, $15.50. And then once I'm in profit, have a stop loss behind it. So I won't lose in this trade once we get into it and we start pushing off. I put a stop maybe just at break even or just under break even. When I see some good profits, unrealized profits, then I raise my stop up into the profit so I don't take a loss. So I'm going to look for that. Or I'm going to look for a move above the SMA 20 ribbon and then take it back towards these levels here, up here. So got two ways here. Pullback from 14.10 to 14.15, positive reaction, buy on a few green candle reversal candles, buy on that reversal, or wait for a break above 1660. So I'm going to write that here too. Or above 1660. So that's that SMA 20 ribbon once we get above the green line. And it's obviously going to change once time goes on. So you just have to follow that SMA 20. Once we get above the SMA 20, then play it up towards the mid to upper $17 range, back up here again. So, and once you're in profit and it's decent profit, stick that stop loss in. Think about it, protect the downside so you don't take a loss at that point. So that's what I would be playing for this. Based on the positive news that they brought out yesterday, it's okay that we get some pullbacks, healthy pullbacks. If it's going to hold here, this could be a nice entry from 14 back to the 15s. Or if we get momentum back into the mix above 1660. And then play it up from there. And just remember, if the momentum starts kicking in into fifth gear again, we could start getting way above these levels. We can go from, above 18, we can get back into the mid 19s to 21s again that we're just at. So just going to focus on what kind of reaction we get off of either of those. No, it will just be a day trade. Just be a day trade today for this PLRZ. Fundamentals on PRLRZ are garbage. 6 employees, no revenue. Exactly. But you got to understand that these biotechs are like that. They're in the beginning stages of, they're working on trials, right? So they're not making no revenue. But if they get one of those all the way through the phases and it treats an unmet disease, right? So say it's like a cancer. They're treating lung cancer, or they treat brain cancer, and they're the only one that has that trial that's been successful. Maybe it prolongs someone's life 12 months or 18 months. That's substantial. Even 6 months longer than others. That is substantial. And even if it's in the beginning stages and it's a penny stock, that will not be a penny stock for long if that news comes out positive and they go all the way through and commercialize that drug. They will go from a stock like this where you think it's garbage, and they will be a multi-billion market cap company. Like, it will be making billions in the end, and it will have a story where it came from, which we're talking about now. Garbage company, not making revenue, to being one of the biggest in their sector. because of their drug that was successful. So, right now this is just positive data, but say this one got all the way through, they make the drug and it's a success, and all the analysts are raving about it, and it comes out they're making positive net income now, they're making billions of dollars. That narrative will change for this company. So right now it's garbage. We're just going to play the momentum. But if that decides to change, this company brings out everything through, like they commercialize 2 or 3 drugs for brain cancer or something like that, this will be in the hundreds of dollars eventually. Not saying this one's going to be, but I've seen it. We've seen a lot of these penny stocks go to hundreds of dollars per share just after they release their phase 3 or they commercialize a drug that's very effective. So this may be just a little step in the road to the upside for them, but if they continue to bring good positive data, then this could still move to the upside much higher. So we just have to watch it. Right now it's garbage, so like you say, and we're just going to take advantage of the volume for the day. But yeah, they'll probably have to raise some cash along the way. So all these bumps and all these pushes, all these momentum to the upside for these kind of biotech, if they have no money and they need to raise cash, they're going to do it at these higher prices. So they get a bigger amount, that they raise a bigger amount of cash, and they're going to take advantage of these moves. And they may dilute for years and years, and then eventually they don't need to anymore. And they raised enough cash and they're making enough money, and then it will then be the real company it deserves to be. So, they may have a long path to success, but right now it's just the volumes, momentum showing us to trade it for the day only. That's a crypto related. Yeah. That's a, what's that, a mining company? Oh yeah, Paul, I'm just giving my views on it. I understand where you're coming from though. It's garbage. We all know it's garbage right now. Let me have a look what else is going on out there. SPY is still lingering around those lows of days. So still, it's very, very weak today. And we see it. We have not seen any candle, even on the 2-minute time frame, get above the SMA ribbon 20. So very negative price action so far since market open. Once Netflix figures out how to open its parachute, I'm going heavy on it. Needs to clear that Warner Brother deal first. Are they doing a deal with them, or I thought it was Paramount and Warner Brothers making a deal? Did it change? That parachute they opening is just going to fall off. It's just going to keep on falling until it lands in our double bottom, pick it up from the floor situation that we like to find, trades. We like to find the bottoms, and that's probably what's going to happen. We're going to land in our basket at the bottom of the mountain. That's where we pick it back up. Oh, that's good right there. Look at that volume finally coming in SPY. If this candle can close above the SMA 20, then that's the first candle so far that will be closed above it. And momentum may start shifting to the upside here. We'll see, but oh, there we go. Let's see what this candle does. That just closed just above the SMA 20. So this candle is going to show us if it's going to fall right back down, or that's where we start building the momentum now. So it's just going to fall right back down. look at the books. Other competitors, I never thought they were serious about. Are they buying it though, Breckle? Are they buying this? Are they really buying them? Let me see. Let me see your news. Paramount questions, Discovery events, episode, Netflix in the lead. They're bidding for the Warner Brothers. Huh. What does Warner Brothers have? They have like a bunch of shows, or I thought it was just more movies. I wonder if Netflix are trying to take over the movie business by their acquisition. They have the leading bid so far. Netflix, let's look at their chart. I prefer looking at this kind of, oh, it's $102 now. I know that Pookie hates Netflix. He thinks it's coming down lower. I think that it could reasonably come down to the 80s. That would be fantastic, I think. Not saying I pick it up there, but I would like to see what it does there. $12, same as AMC long term. All right, let's have a look. If we look at Netflix, it's not building no momentum. The market's been ripping the last couple of days, and it's still falling, so that's not great. So when I last checked this, I think it was on a wrap-up stream for the week. I was looking at this little box right here to see if we would hold either the top or the bottom of it. Well, it fell right through on the weekly. So this is where I'll be looking next, this area. To be honest, this is the next strongest area. There's a few on the way we can mark off, like a few different levels, but my eyes would be watching like this area first for a bigger reversal off of here. So that's 82.5. So, you know, that's where I would be looking to take a trade. If it a nice healthy pullback to 82 and we start to see a reversal there, then I could say, well, I don't mind taking this trade from $82.5 and then having maybe like a 3 or 4% stop underneath it, and potentially seeing back into the hundreds again after that. And I would put, you know, if we were to plan this out, we wouldn't buy right on that level, but we would buy off once we push off of it. So maybe a little higher than that. I put like a little 4%, something like that. And upside would be 26%. So I'm only risking 4% for 26% return to that box. And then the top of the box would be 31%. So I like that kind of strategy off of 82. Just, you know, keep on, everyone go on social media, bring it down, diss it a few times, tag them, whatever you need to do, bring it down to 82 retest, and then we all see what happens there. It's not financial advice, but that would be sweet if we can get a retest of 82. And then off of 82, we can maybe push right off of there. If we don't hold 82, then what kind of trend line we have there going on? I don't even like that trend line. Never mind. I stick to the horizontal. So I like that. And zooming out, that is I think that's achievable to be down there. So that's the level I'm paying attention to. I don't care. Maybe downside, just play puts or swing some puts down to 82. Who knows? Could be a trade there. So this looks better. If we go on the 2 minute, it's starting to show above the SMA 20, but 3 minutes still not. It's rejecting off of it. So if I just clear all these lines, Still, this is the green line is the SMA 20 close, and it's still rejecting off that level. So it's still bearish. Although we're trying to build momentum, it's still bearish on the 3-minute. And it can't get through. It just can't get through it. Could be a bearish like flag right here as well. Let's see. SPY is going to take out those. Looks like it wants to take out those lows there. I did short KALA, by the way. I thought I short that a little bit. Some of these stocks are available to short on Webull. Most of them are not, so it sucks a little bit. But look at this. And that was a rejection of the SMA 20 on the 3-minute. You don't even need to put support. Look at that. Sell off hard. New low day. So just using the ribbon just with a little bit of guidance can go a long way before jumping in, just looking at it. So since this candle here, price action's been trending below the SMA 20. And then we got a nice, people probably would have bought this reversal, but then if we zoomed out to the 3-minute, we would have waited for that buy until we got above the SMA 20, until we got a bullish signal. We didn't get it. We got the rejection. We got the opposite. And then new low of day. So give me a second. I'll be right back, guys. Someone knocking? All right. Sorry, guys. If I sell, it reverses. So that's, that's what are you buying exactly that's making you feel that way? Let me just make sure my headset's connected here. What kind of trade are you taking? Are you waiting for some confirmation there, or are you using the strategy that you've tested and it works before jumping in? Having one of those days with Qs. You trying to guess the reversal? Is that what's going on for it? Yeah. You have the ribbon at all, TCAC? You have the ribbon? I think lifetimers you get it like for like $5 or something. It's really cheap. But this also can help you. I mean, the SMA 20 ribbon is just going to, and that's essentially what it's there, just to show you bullish and bearish sentiment, to give you, at least give you that help with that. above the SMA 20, we're showing more of a bullish move, right, with the volume. And then below it, we're bearish. And maybe something simple like that will help you wait for confirmations, then jump in. Even if it gets above the SMA 20, wait for maybe the next candle to continue to then give you that extra confidence. But yeah, I mean, look right there. I mean, it's hard to trade this because we got a big sell-off and then we got followed up with a nice big, pretty much the same size green candle right after. So it's not a clean trend day, but you can get hurt pretty quickly if you jump into a big red candle looking for continuation, and then you get that big green candle come right back in, you know. So it can hurt people, but I think just entering with a little bit of guidance, even if it's one tool, you know, could go a long way. Yeah, IWM, you've been loving that. Yeah, and I've been watching. You've been mentioning that in the streams. Yeah. But you also got to think, you set at the bottom, you can't always think about it reverses. You also got to think about it could fall lower, and you just did yourself a favor as well. So you can't always think of that negative. Okay, I sold at the bottom and it reversed, because it could continue to fall, right? The overall, you know, sentiment is bearish still. We're just getting bumps up and down along the way, but overall, we're seeing that bearish price action until we start to see it above the SMA 20, and then we can get, okay, now I feel more confident trading the upside. So let's see what happens here. That green candle closed right on the SMA 20, just like that previous one. And this candle is going to show us if we're going to start building it back up here, or we're just going to roll back over again, and that candle's going to start rolling back red. So I think this candle, where this one closes, is going to give us that confirmation. Whether it rolls back over, you can take puts again for a quick scalp, or you can feel more confident and take an upside with a tight stop under that ribbon. Just nervous? Well, if you feel like that, if you feel a little nervous, and it's okay to watch. It's okay to watch it trade. If you feel you're a little bit nervous and you want to trade, then just trade this one thing on a paper trading account. Take that paper trading loss if you feel that way. And that kind of feedback, you're going back to work, you have 2 hours of sleep, that gives me enough reason to not be trading right now, you know. I had a big put earlier, but I stopped out down $40. So there's a few little reasons there that you gave me that says maybe I should just, you know, take it easy today. When I feel like I got more hours of sleep, I feel, you know, I feel ready to go. Then I can maybe get into a trade, or, you know, look for a setup. What's Snowflake doing today after the earnings? They're still down. They're red today. For me, like, yeah, I gotta have sleep to focus, at least to be effective in my trading business. If I don't have sleep, I have a lack of sleep, and I'm just running off of fumes. I'm going to make some more mistakes. And then at the end of the day, I'm going to review them and say, what was I doing? Like that's against the rules that I put in place for myself. Why was I in this trade? I didn't even get a confirmation. It wasn't even above my SMA 20. It wasn't even, the volume wasn't even there. Why did I get into it? Because I was just lacking sleep, lacking what's the word? Concentration, focus. So, and you need all those things, you know, to really excel in your day of trading. So yeah, SPY on this one, I actually like this. Now that red candle still closed above the SMA 20s, and this next candle is trying to build off that SMA 20. So it's looking a little bit more positive for a reversal here. I'm not saying it's going to be a full-blown reversal to the upside, but it's looking much better than it has looked for the past 1 hour. And if we look on, let's go to a 3-minute. I'm looking on the top screen that I have here, and it's just about getting through VWAP too. So VWAP is 683.70. So if we can close above VWAP, that also gives us a little sense of confidence for the upside too. More of a bullish stance, more sentiment to the upside. Because we're now above that VWAP, we're closing above it, and we haven't closed above it since pretty much like 9:35. So if we can get above that, that also is very good. And I can put just VWAP on here. You have a look. VWAP, no, that's not a good one. I don't know what one I just put. Let's have a look. I don't really want a band. I just want a line, please. And could VWAP. That's not it. I'll probably just stick to my rolling one that I have here. Right on top of it. So now we're kind of sitting above VWAP, this rolling VWAP. So let's see what we get off of this. I'm going to head out in about 5 minutes, guys, because I have that stream coming up at 11 for coaching. You can get the coaching. I believe it's still discounted at $19.99 if you want to grab that 50% off before it ends. I think the end of the week it ends. Come join us in the coaching, and just get. It's all about getting more consistent with one strategy. Just learning one strategy that's easy, then getting consistent with your P&L over the trades that you have, and then building that confidence back up. You know, if you're lost and you don't have a strategy, it's going to help you just learn one strategy that you know and understand and what works for you and effective, and just put that into play on every single trade with a plan on every single trade. And when you just learn that and you get familiar with that on every single thing that you find, you're going to see way better P&L, right? So that's a big focus, is just getting more consistent and not learning so many strategies. You know, they're all different tools, meaning all different things. We just keep it very simple. Oh, calls up 10%, good stuff. So yeah, so now this is really nice here. We got above that SMA 20 ribbon here. This next candle after this one, it held above it. This candle pushed off of it. This one now is above VWAP. This one is now pushing higher. So this looks like a better push to be trading once these candles close above. Not like this one. And let me find that. Let me find. Let me get that link. I don't know if anyone shared it in the chats, but this is the link for that. Copy link. Let me make sure. Yeah, this is the one. That's the link. If you just want to get into coaching, it's a good place to start. And then if you want to then start getting more alerts, more option alerts, more access to like psychology classes and things like that, then you can upgrade it to maybe the premium, which it's like everything in a bundle. Coaching is a good start. It's very low price, somewhere to start, learn the strategy, get confident. Once you feel more confident and you want to access more, then you can get into that premium bundle of pretty much a lot of stuff in one package. So that's the link there in the comments, in the Discord to get that. And then I share it on. Share it on online as well. All right, so that's a nice big push there. So that's good. We at least got a nice, pretty decent reversal from the lows of day. Nice return there, $400. Good stuff. There's a few tools to use online for that, to find the more flow of calls and puts, to find that volume in those. You can use there's a few tools on even X. I think Unusual Whales is one that you can get access to, like high volume calls that they alert, and you can see. There's some trials out there that you can get to that are pretty decent, but there's also a lot of garbage. So you just got to make sure that you find the right one. You can also DM me and we can talk about that. If you want to find out like dark pool kind of buys and sells, stuff like that, there's some good websites for that, good programs. Oh, look at QCLS up to 7. So we're up to 790 high. So we hit our entry down here, right? We're above the VWAP, we're above this resistance point. This is what our entry that we put on the watch list. It never came back down, right? So at this point, you can literally use the 2 or 3 minute, and that could guide you on if we roll over this ribbon, say we roll over the red line, we close a candle below it, then that could be a cue to exit your position with profit. Because once we lose this ribbon, most likely will turn bearish. I'm not saying 100% it's going to turn bearish, but it's going to give us a signal that indicates most likely that we're about to go bearish if we lose this whole ribbon. Because if we go back in time, right, we lose the ribbon, it all goes red and we start to fall. So, and we talked about it just briefly in this stream. Under the SMA, once we lose the SMA 20, underneath it, sentiment turns bearish. Above it, looks more bullish, right? So this whole move was nice to the upside. Now it's getting a little bit of heat here, maybe a little bit overcooked. And we're starting to see more profit taken than people buying. So we just have to be on alert. And as long as we stay above the ribbon, it's going to continue to be positive. And once we lose it, then we may start seeing it roll over a little bit. So just protect your trades, and don't lose the money that you worked hard to gain with that trade, with that whole plan behind it. All right, I think I'm gonna take my profit in the KALA. I may start doing next year sometime. Not sure when. I'm not gonna put a date out there, but short trading and just basically having a strategy behind short trading stocks without high risk. I think I'm gonna eventually bring out something like that because it's very effective, especially in a bearish market. Like 2022, for example, you could have shorted absolutely everything and made money. People were scared and they didn't do anything. So instead of just sitting there shocked and looking at pullbacks, we could take advantage of every single pullback with shorting it and just having a plan where, okay, well, it gets above this level again, we just stop out of our short, right? Because, you know, it could get real nasty at that point. So with this one, you know, we play the upside. The upside you can play, and there's nothing wrong with playing the downside. So you make the money on the upside, which we got to 172. Once we rolled over the SMA 20 again, or VWAP, you play the downside, right? So you can see right now I played the downside, and I can screenshot this real quick. So, you know, I'm not just full of crap. It's actually real profit I made. This is what I just made on shorting it, and I'm actually going to take my profit right now. I like my profit on the table, but I'm only playing with a small amount of shorts. I'm not shorting a big amount, but look, literally just made that much. I'm closing my position now. I'm happy with that position, right? So just closed it out right now. And actually, I didn't even close it up. Is it halted down? So I put the order in to close out. So I will close it out. But that's how effective it can be. I had negative 400, right? So I'm borrowing the shares. So I'm shorting essentially the stock. And I only put, what was that? Like, what did I put into that? 400 bucks or whatever it was. And I made 34%. 34% I made on it. So that's a huge amount you can make on a small little amount of money. I just made 34% on just a few confirmations, and then making money on the upside, but also shorting it to the downside and making it on the reversal down as well. So just think about that, and I will incorporate a few things into 2026 coaching. It will be the 9 and 21 day. We work on that, swing trading, day trading with that, and then we also will work with shorting eventually in the year somewhere as well. So 2026 will be a good one for the coaching program and for the members there. XLE forward split, and I got to jump right off in a few seconds. Let me just have a look. You say it had a forward split, or it's going to have a forward split, or you know it's going to be a forward split tomorrow? I don't know. Let's have a look at this one. XLE. I don't know if they have forward split. Good question. What's this say? I don't see any forward split here. I don't see anything. Oh, right here though. Yeah, so there's a forward split Friday. Yep, tomorrow. So if you owned one share today, then tomorrow you will own 2 shares at the split price. So that's how it's going to work, right? So 2 for 1. So it will be cut in half, and you'll have 2 shares. If you own one share today, you have 2 shares tomorrow at the new price of, it's probably going to be like, you know, 45 bucks on like that. Yeah, I'm gonna leave, guys. It was a pleasure hanging out with everyone. Thanks for the questions. Thanks for the comments. I'm gonna take a break, then get into my coaching in 12 minutes, just like Pookie says. Thanks for hanging out, and I will see you there.